Hey everyone, it is late at night and I'm Norman. Tonight is the final State of the Collection video for 2024, even though it's 2025. But tonight we're looking at my primary watch box. These are pieces that are likely never going to go anywhere. These are my most prized watches, which doesn't necessarily mean that I wear them terribly often. Some of them I do. But I'll go over that as we look at the watches. So let us begin. Alright, so first up we have the F77 Ace Nevada Grenchen. This is such a great watch. I love the smooth dial on this variant. I had one of the standard F77s with sort of the carbon fiber looking dial, but it looks so much better just smooth like that. And I kind of like the red pop of color there on the seconds hand and the text that's there. Just a great looking watch. And for this State of the Collection, I'll probably be doing a few wrist shots. So let's see what this one looks like when you're wearing it. Let me take off my freshly repaired Neo Vintage Techno or Tex watch. And there it is on my 7-inch wrist, 55 millimeters wide. Yeah, these F77s are really cool. They do have a wide wingspan though. You can kind of see it there. But other than that, just perfect. And next we have the Space View, which currently does not have a battery. I'm kind of giving it a rest for a little bit because these tuning forks are just going constantly. So I'm letting it have a breather for about a month or so. But just look at that crystal on this. Absolutely gorgeous watch. Very small though. I think these are 33 millimeters, but that's cool. And there's no crown. If you've never seen these, there's the crown right there. Yeah, so maybe in a few weeks, I'll put a new battery in this and give it some wrist time. By the way, I apologize, my thumb is still gnarly looking. It got munched by a waffle maker, slammed shut on it. And then there's the Seiko Dolce. And by the way, for the pieces that I'm not doing wrist shots of, I have done full reviews of them, so you could track those down if you want to see more details about the watch, the specs, and see some wrist shots. This watch is so beautiful. It's super thin and just elegant. This is kind of like my Malvern 595 replacement, sort of. It kind of has a similar aesthetic, sort of. I have this on a lizard strap. And let's see what this one looks like on the wrist. I mean, just look at that. Absolutely amazing. You know, an interesting aspect of doing State of the Collection videos is every watch I look at, I just want to wear. Sometimes they're pieces that I haven't looked at in a while. And yeah, I'm just like, this is the watch that I want to wear. I'm going to wear it tomorrow. And then I move on to the next one, and that's the one that I want to wear tomorrow. Such a brilliant watch. This is a quartz piece. You can see it ticking there. So it's a grab and go piece. Amazing. And I have a dive watch in vintage proportions. This is the Armida. And I love this watch. It has proper water resistance. 300 meters. I love the old style mill sub aesthetic to it. There's no date. It's 36 millimeters, not terribly thick. And I like Armida watches. I owned one way back when I was just getting into watches, and my entire collection was dive style and dive watches. So yeah, when I stumbled upon this mentioned in a Reddit thread or forum online, I had to get one. And yeah, I'm glad I did. Just a great dive watch. Next is one of only a couple yellow gold watches that I own. This one has kind of a pie pan dial, the Wittenauer, and I love this style for yellow gold where it has kind of a cream colored dial. I love those tiny little indices there, just little dots. The lugs are great. The crystal, and it's fairly thin. It looks good on this dark brown strap. Just a very elegant looking watch. Then there's the Museum, and this is also vintage size. I believe this is a neo-vintage piece, probably from the 90s perhaps. But the Museum watches have always intrigued me. They're so minimal, they're kind of breaking rules, and it's just so extremely minimal. They've always caught my eye. So I tried a contemporary one, but it was just too large for me personally. So I tracked this one down on eBay, and yeah, I love it. The crystal on here is actually sapphire. When I purchased it, it had a mineral crystal with some scratches in it that I was unable to get out. So I paid to have that crystal replaced. Now the only downside to this watch is you need to have a cleaning cloth on you at all times, because this crystal shows absolutely everything with that dark dial behind it and just nothing on the dial. So yeah, every little thing shows up and makes it look dirty. But other than that, yeah, just super cool watch. I own the Smith's Everest gilt dial variant, and I haven't worn this watch in a little while. This is the first watch that summited Mount Everest. Just joking. If you've seen my Pissing Off Watch Experts video, you'll know the inside joke there. But yeah, I haven't worn this in a little while because I'm still honeymooning with a few other steel sports watches. And so when I'm in the mood for something sporty, lately I've been wearing the D1 Milano, the F77 Ace, or the SKX Mod that my wife got me for Christmas. So once the honeymoon there has kind of settled down, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be getting wrist time again, because it is a brilliant watch. I'm shocked at how much I love the gilt dial variant versus the standard. I didn't think I would, but I took a chance on this watch, and yeah, that gilt dial just kind of elevates the whole appearance of this watch. Let's see what this looks like on the wrist. Yes, look at that. Absolutely amazing. And I actually kind of like the rivet bracelets. I thought that would bug me when I first purchased an Everest, because I had the standard version. That one had the old style clasp and it kept popping open on me, so that's why I tracked this one down. But that just looks amazing. Now currently I have the D1 Milano in this box. but I think it's going to move into the secondary box, and in its slot will be the SKX mod that my wife bought me for Christmas. And I think this was featured in my Sci-Fi Watches State of the Collection, but it's actually going to reside in this watch box because 1, it's amazing, and 2, my wife bought it for me, so it is not going anywhere. And it's so crazy how just by producing this with different materials completely changes the experience. I wear this far more than my plastic Casios, and I mean, it's new, so I'm still honeymooning with it, but yeah, it's crazy. So it has a sapphire crystal, stainless steel case, and this will be in the primary watch box. Or on the shelf because I'm wearing it so much. That's where it's been lately. And then there's the brilliant and amazing Tudor, a vintage Tudor that I bought from a really close friend of mine. And yeah, this watch is just phenomenal. Probably in the top 3 of my collection overall. I had the screw down crown replaced. There was an issue with its threads, and according to my watchmaker, this thing is one of the cleanest watches he's seen. And I mean, just look at that dial. The movement is running like a new watch. It's crazy. Rolex crown, Rolex case back. Being vintage Tudor, that's not uncommon. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. There are some little scratches on the crystal that are really tough to see. They're noticeable if you're out in the sun. I've been polywatching this. At some point I might just get a new crystal, but you can't even see them, so I think I'm gonna wait till it incurs some kind of damage that I'm not able to polywatch out. Yes, such a cool watch. And the pull router. This is the pinnacle of my collection. An absolute dream come true to own one of these. I have always absolutely loved pull routers. I love crosshairs. I love the aesthetic of the silver around the edge of the dial. Any watch that has that catches my attention. And my wife bought this mostly for my birthday and Christmas, and I kind of paid the balance of it because, yeah, these are pretty expensive. This is one of just a couple watches that I've had serviced. I had the Tudor sent in, and I had this one serviced as soon as I got it. So I have peace of mind, but I don't wear it a ton just because, yeah, it's a pull router. I feel a little bit nervous about it, but every now and then I do get it out and just enjoy it. Absolutely the best watch that I own. In fact, these last 4 watches are my favorite of the favorites. So the vintage Tudor, the pull router, this Longines Dolce Vita. Oh, I just absolutely love this watch. I need to go back to an AD and look at a smaller sized Cartier Tank Americaine, because when I decided to buy this, I wasn't able to put them side by side, but I did try them both on in the same shop. And at that time, I actually preferred this over the Tank Americaine. It's crazy. But now that I own this, I think I'm going to have to wear it next time I take a trip up to Seattle. Although last time they didn't have any of the smaller Americaines. They had one really small, but I'm looking for something like the next step up, about this size. Yeah, this watch is just super cool. Let's see what this looks like on the wrist. Yeah, look at that. Just, the crystal on there is crazy. This is a quartz variant, but it has a small sub-seconds there. So there's no real quartz movement that you notice. I've owned this for a while now, and I still wear it a lot. It's just so classy, so elegant, and it's actually pretty versatile. You can wear somewhat casual clothes, or wear it during the summer in shorts weather, and it actually works. But if you put this on with a suit, oh man. Yeah. And the final watch, and fairly new addition to my primary watch box, is the Accutron Legacy, the shield-shaped one with the silver dial. I just love this watch, and I never thought I would be able to purchase one, because when I first encountered these, they're limited editions, and I did not have the funds to buy one. These are somewhat expensive. They're kind of entry-level mid-tier. And so a year went by, and I just thought for sure they would be sold out. And look, it has crosshairs. Perfect. I ended up having some funds after selling a couple watches, and they were still available. So I picked this one up. Just absolutely love it. It's totally vintage vibes, vintage size, everything. But contemporary materials, sapphire crystal, an amazing half display case back. I liked this one so much that I purchased the yellow gold colored one, kind of the asymmetrical TV shaped one that was in my large secondary watch box. But of the two, I definitely like this one. Ew, and I apologize for that smudge that was on the crystal there. Looking through the display on my camera, I didn't really notice it. It kind of looked like just light playing on it, so, gross. Sorry about that. But yeah, this watch is just cool. Now, one downside to it, this crown is not fun at all. It's not fun to put a little bit of charge on this watch, and it is not fun setting the time either. It's really difficult to turn this crown where it's positioned and how tiny it is. Brilliant watch, brilliant line. I'm a huge fan of the Accutron Legacy line. It's so cool when a brand actually takes a chance and does full-blown vintage style pieces in full-blown vintage size. That is all the watches in my primary watch box. There you have it. That wraps up the State of the Collection videos until next year. Now I have to figure out which of these watches I'm going to wear, because I like them all so much. Thanks for watching.